Thank you so much for joining us on this podcast, the East Stroudsburg United Methodist Church podcast, and it's our Faith Conversations podcast, where we try to talk about and how faith influences our lives, our work, and in other aspects of life.
Sure.
And so I'm Kofi Ashley, the pastor here at East Stroudsburg, and our guest today is Dave Parker, who is one of the county commissioners. So Dave Parker, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pastor Kofi. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. So just a quick question. Have you always lived in the Poconos?
Not always. I was born and raised here in East Stroudsburg. In fact, I was in a Christmas pageant here at this church back in the late 70s. But I went to Messiah College, and then I got a job there after college and worked at a lumber company down there for 3 years before moving back to the area and working at Kramer's Home Centers, the family business.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about, the work as a county commissioner.
Okay. Well, we run the county as far as we handle the county budget. We oversee a lot of different agencies, children and youth, the prison, the aging office. We run elections, tax assessment, and then the courts, they kind of run themselves, but we're in charge of the budget. And then you have all the other elected officials like the sheriff, the district attorney, and they run their offices. But again, we're in charge of the budget for those things. So we all try to work together to run Monroe County well and serve the people.
Thank you. Thank you. So I understand you're leading the county commission for the celebration of America's 250th birthday celebration. Now, tell us what we need to expect this year.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one of the things I was tasked with when I came in, was to chair that commission. We've been having different events over the last year, but this is the year that it is officially 2026. So as such, the state is doing a kickoff in every county. So they'll be coming around to visit Monroe County on the 18th of January, which is a Sunday afternoon, 12:30 to 2:30 over at the Monroe County Courthouse. So you can invite your parishioners to go after church.
Yeah.
But we're going to go there and kind of have a rally, and then we'll hand out things that'll explain different events that are going to happen all year long or throughout the year, and hope to get people excited about the celebration and some camaraderie and get together and learn about the different townships and municipalities. Hopefully, representatives from each one will be there as well. I don't know if I should keep talking or not, but one of the things we're doing is Keystones Across Monroe. So we're doing these, I don't know, since we have the cameraman here, we're trying to have a keystone, it's like a 4-foot keystone painted in every township. So this is an example of one that's done for Ross Township, and we want to have them for every township. We're still looking for more artists to try to finish up some of the boroughs and townships. We still need one for East Stroudsburg and Stroudsburg and Stroud Township. So if you have any artists in your church who might be interested in doing that, we'll provide the paint and the keystone canvas. I mean, it's a piece of plywood, but we've primed it and everything and gotten it ready. So that's another way people can get involved, but just paint something that represents that township and the founding of the country. And, we want people to go around and visit all of those and get familiar with the different areas of the county.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about other activities that may be coming up.
Okay. Well, there is, toward the end of the year, we want to do a production of 1776. So there's a group of people, many of them used to do the Pocono Lively Arts productions, and they're going to put that together. It's going to be in October up at the Notre Dame School. So you'll be hearing more about that. Barrett Township is very active. They have a calendar with events every month starting in March or April, and we'll have a list of that, but it'll be concerts, productions, and just gatherings that are honoring veterans, different events like that throughout the year. We want to have a 4th of July parade.
Okay.
So on the 4th of July, it's a Saturday this year, so we're planning a big parade, which will start over at the Stroudsburg High School and come over here to East Stroudsburg. So we'd like all the municipalities, boroughs, and townships and different groups to participate in that and build a float and represent their area in that parade and celebrate, our 250th anniversary. So that's one of the big things we're planning. There's also different events, like we're having the passport. Right now we have one set up online for the all the historical markers in the county.
Okay.
So if you go visit a historical marker, we got 3 of them right near the courthouse.
Mm.
There's a QR code on there that you can scan, and it'll mark that you've seen that one. And then if you see 12 of them, you get a certificate. There's 18 in total. And I like to say, if you visit 15, we're going to give you a print of General Sullivan visiting Brinker's Mill in Scioto on his way up to New York State in his mission. But that was something painted by a local artist. And so his family donated a couple hundred prints that we want to give out as prizes for people that visit the various historical markers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds
So,
exciting. It's
yeah.
like a treasure hunt kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
and it also, helps people go around and understand the history of the county and what important events happened in our county.
So how can people, like, if someone say, oh, hey, how can I get involved? How can I,
Sure.
offer my service?
Yeah, we have a website. It's mc250pa.org. You can go on that website, and you can click a link to volunteer, and that'll send us an email, and we can get you connected. We usually have monthly meetings, and then we have different committees too. So like the education committee actually has a meeting Friday. We'll have our meeting at the end of the month on Friday. But we got an arts and culture committee. As I said, education committee. It's terrible. I should have brought that brochure with me, and I didn't because I was focusing on the kickoff.
Yeah.
One of the things you can do if you want to come to the kickoff, you can go to our website, which I just gave you. And if you're going to come, please RSVP because they want to get a count of how many people are coming. So we make sure we have enough refreshments for everybody. But there's also a QR code here you can scan to do that. Okay. But yeah, that's how you can get involved. And we could still use help with different committees. And I'd like to form a parade committee. We're getting that together. We have somebody to head it up, but we could always use more people to get involved in that. And there's going to be different events. Actually, Stroud Rec has a program called 250 for 250.
Okay.
So the goal is to walk 250 miles in our parks over the course of the year. And you can walk, run, ride a bike. When the weather's good, you can kayak or whatever way you want to do it. And once you reach 250, you get a T-shirt.
Wow.
So that's already
250 miles, right?
Right. Yeah, we already had about over six people, I think, hit it. So we're gonna give out shirts at our kickoff just to recognize those people and also let other people know about that initiative. Actually, there's also a podcast that Stroud Recreation is doing.
Okay.
I think one of your guests on this show was their first guest, Kelly Lewis.
Yes.
But they're doing a podcast, I think once a month, and you can catch that at their website. So yeah, there's a number of activities. There's also going to be a geocache, which is set up to visit different areas of the county. So we're just trying to encourage people to get around, see what's in the county, learn about the history of the county. And there'll be other presentations coming up. But the important thing is to go to the website and you can see the activities that are coming up.
Sounds like you have your hands full as a county commissioner.
Yeah.
So what do you like most about your job?
Well, this has been fun, but one of the most rewarding things is just being able to help people. And that's one of the things I've enjoyed in my life in general, in my church, and also as a state rep, as a business owner at Kramer's. You help people solve problems in that business as well, and home improvements. So as a county commissioner, one of the areas we've really been able to help is in the recovery community, because we have a lot of funds from the opioid settlement funds that years ago the Attorney General settled with many drug companies. So we have this money coming in that we need to specifically use to help people with opioid use disorder and prevention. So like we were able to help a recovery house get a van so that they can help get their house guests, their members, to their jobs, their recovery meetings, and appointments, and so on. And so that's been a big help to them, certainly. And just people in general that are in recovery, we can help them with rent. If somebody has opioid use disorder, we can help them with housing, transportation, and other things. And that's what's so critical in our area. Transportation is really an issue, and housing we know is tough as well.
Absolutely.
So in order for these people to get back on their feet, if we can help them in those areas, and there's plenty of case managers who are helping to get them into jobs, and then ultimately we want to get them independent. And so that's what we've been able to do, a lot of that, helping with this funding that we get.
Now, is that only geared toward people addicted to opiates?
Yeah, that money is pretty specific that way. But one of the ways we've been able to help, like we have our own drug and alcohol commission that can help people with various addictions. So if we give them some money that they can use specifically for opioids, that frees up the rest of their money to be used for people with alcohol issues or with other drugs that aren't opioids. So it can help those dollars go further. So we're just trying to use it in the best way we can to help people. And also, we also do prevention programs. We had a guest speaker come in last year and do assemblies at all the schools. He's a former Boston Celtic, Chris Herron.
Okay.
And he has an amazing story that helps people understand addiction and how much it can hurt someone, and it's so hard to get out of. And he overcame it, and now he's just dedicated his life to helping people. So we brought him in, and he really had an impact on a lot of the students at our schools.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds really, really helpful, because it's really needed in our community.
Yeah.
As a church, we open our facility, 7 days a week to help AAs, NAs, and
Oh, that's great.
just make sure that people have a place, a safe place to come
Yeah.
and heal.
Right.
Okay.
Another thing, since we're on this topic, I brought this flyer because next week, right across the street here at the cinema, they're going to be showing Recovery City.
Okay.
And I'll leave some of these flyers for you. But one of the groups we work with is Path to Peace, and they've been working with our district attorney's office in the LEDI program, which is, we might as well talk about that, Law Enforcement Treatment Initiative. So basically, we have a program where if someone has a drug charge, they can work with our LEDI coordinator, Stan, get into a treatment program.
Okay.
And when they complete it, they can have their charges reduced or dropped.
Wonderful.
Because they're showing an effort to get
Yes.
better and get on the right track. And so they're working together with Path to Peace. But this Recovery City movie is really good because it just, again, shows people, a lot of people just, they don't understand addiction and how it impacts people and how hard it is to overcome. But stories like you would hear in this movie from women who have experienced it will help them understand. And it can just make our community that much better to try to help one another and help each other overcome these issues.
That's wonderful. Now say that flyer
Yeah.
again, just for people.
Yeah. This is going to be on January 14th, 6 to 9, right across the street here at the Pocono Cinema.
Okay.
And it's going to be the movie, and then afterwards there'll be a panel of 4 women just to discuss it. And I think actually the person who wrote the movie is going to be there as well through Zoom. And it's just a great opportunity to learn about recovery and hopefully learn how you can help our community and people in the recovery community, which again, your church is already doing, and it's so great. So you probably can promote it to people here.
Absolutely.
Who can come.
Thank you. So now, what are the challenging aspects of your job as a county commissioner?
Sure. Well, we have a lot, as a county, we have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that we have to do. We're mandated to do by the state, but we don't necessarily get the money to do them. And so the challenging thing is to do all those things with the budget we have. And unfortunately, we can't always do that. And one of the things you never want to do is raise taxes, but unfortunately, there's times we have to. And we know in our area, we're the highest taxed area in the state as far as local incomes are concerned. And so that's a struggle, and we did need to do that, unfortunately. And I know it hurts the people here, but there's certain services and things that we have to deliver. It's $20 million to run the prison, and I think we get less than $2 million in subsidies from the feds and the state to help do that. So the rest, it comes from us. And so, there's just things like that have to be paid for, but we have to do them. But we got a lot of great people in the county, a lot of great employees, and they have a heart for service, and they really do a great job in serving our community. So I'm grateful for that, because the other issue has been we don't have enough people, so the people that we do have to work that much more.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to see and get the feedback of how well our county employees do in serving the public.
Well, thank you for that. Now, you are a man of faith, and faith is an important part of your life. So how do you integrate that part of your life into your work?
Sure. Well, one of the areas I found I can help is, well, our children and youth. So in children and youth, that's where we do the foster care is all run through that, and adoption. And I heard a great story. They have a local church, Christian Life Assembly, has been very involved with foster care and children and youth, and really supporting that agency. And there was a speaker that came in from Center County with the Keystone Family Alliance, I believe it is called. And it's been amazing to see what they've done in their county, because their church said, how can we help, in the foster care community? And their agency told them, and they just started sponsoring foster families. So that they get like 5 families that will support a foster family. And basically it means once a week they make a meal for them. Once a week, or they might help with transportation, getting kids to appointments and what have you. And or even just watching the kids so that the mother and father can go out on a date, just because it's important to have that downtime. And they found an amazing result when they started doing that in their county. They usually have foster parents would quit after a year. An amazing amount do. Within a year, over 50% quit. And within 2 years, it's like 70%. When they started this program, they've been able to reverse it. And so people continue because they have the support. They get a break once a week. They know somebody else is going to make the meal. So it takes a little bit of stress off them, and they can continue. So because I know you and so many other pastors in the area, I'm trying to help with that as much as I can and integrate our faith, getting my church involved. But if we can get 5 families to support one foster family, I mean, if each church can get 5 families, if each church in the county, and I don't know how many there are, but I'm sure we have, let's just say we have 50, if we could help 50 families, and if you have 5 families in each church doing it, you only have to do it once every 5 weeks. Yeah. So it's manageable, and it would really help our community. And when you think about the impacts of a foster care worker who's trying to place families, a caseworker, somebody quits after a year, they got to find a new home for that kid. And that child now is upset again. They have to leave the home they're in, find a new one. And if you can create stability for that child, they'll just have a much better life and be a more productive citizen quickly. Be more integrated in the community. It'll just be better for them. So there's so many good things that can happen if we can do that. So that's one of the ways I see I can tie my faith in, and hope to continue working at that so we can get a great program going with that. So if you're interested in that, you can contact me directly, and I'll get you connected with them.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea, and I think so many people, even in our church, are involved in do foster parenting and things like that, and that can be challenging for a lot of
definitely.
So definitely we'll put the word out, and kind of explore more about that and see how we can pitch in as well.
Okay. Yeah, I have some cards in my car. I should have brought them in. I can give you one of those before I go.
Okay. So personally, how do you see God working in your life?
Well, I get pricked a lot. It's a good question. I've been blessed with 5 daughters and a wonderful wife. So we're active in our church, and so I see him working in my life through my family and through our church. As I said, I'm pretty active in the church and as a commissioner. I think of the words of Jesus as far as someone asks, "When have I seen you hungry, thirsty," and so on. And it's when you've encountered people in the community that are hungry and thirsty. So
the least of these, right?
Right. So as I can help those folks, you feel like you're fulfilling, what Christ wants you to do. So through my work and through what we do at the church, I'm at First Baptist Church right up the road. Yeah. I like to say you're the only one on South Cortlandt Street. We're the only one on North Cortlandt Street.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to reach the community, and so it's been rewarding to do that. I've been a deacon at the church for a couple of years now, and we have a deacon fund where you see people in need, and we can use that to help those folks. So just areas like that, you can see God using you to help work through that.
It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. Well, we distribute our podcast on our social media platforms, websites. So a lot of people will be seeing this
Okay.
podcast and be listening.
Mhm.
And what kind of inspiration or word of advice or anything that if they're listening, they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, Dave was on the show," and what's the one thing you want to say to those who may be listening for some inspiration or a word of advice or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question, Pastor Kofi. Well, I mean, I wish I had something at the ready to be inspirational, but I would like to say, just anybody listening, God can use you. You're valuable creation, and I know there's times where you feel like you can't help or um, don't see that, but just look for ways to help people in your community. If you find out about a need, see how you can help with it, or feel free to call me anytime to help with that. But just encourage it, if you see needs, try to fill them. I would encourage you to love your neighbor. That's, I guess, one of the best things you can do. Look at your neighbor as Christ would look at you, and try to love them and serve them.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, you have any favorite faith advice or scripture or a book that inspires you or something that is anchor in your life? That is like your go-to thing,
Yeah. I don't have a go-to book other than the Bible. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, that's many times in my life when there's a tough situation. I go there. I mean, I try to go there regularly, regardless. But there's times in your life where you look for some wisdom, and I look there. I have to compliment your church and your other guest, Peggy here. She's been a great ministry to me. I lost my father a couple months ago, and because
So
she's
sorry to
active in
that,
ministry
yeah.
here, she's given me some books about grief, and it's been helpful to be able to read those. Because I don't necessarily think about it. You just try to move on, but it's good to think about it and look back at it. So I do appreciate the ministry of your church,
Thank you.
and that kind of is an inspiration, I think, and it should be to others, that you're making that effort, and you have people in your church making that effort to help people.
Oh, yeah. And we have to find a way to grieve, even though sometimes we want to walk away from grief. We
Mhm.
have to find a way to,
Right.
cope with it or address it or find a way
Yeah.
to. So we're so glad. Well, thank you again, Dave Parker, for coming on the Faith Conversations podcast.
Mhm.
We're so glad that you're sharing this information and the celebration of the 250th birthday of the United States of America, and I'm hoping that we could get to hear more as things unfold during
Yeah.
the year.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully you can join us on the 18th for that.
All right, yeah. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you
Pastor.
again for coming up.
You're welcome.
And this is
My
good.
pleasure.
All right.